Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining us at this week's video on Podcasters YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about what is the best time for releasing your podcast episode. Have you actually noticed that depending on what time you post on Instagram, the number of likes and the engagements are going to be different? So if you post it during specific days or hours, it's going to perform really good. And if you publish your post on specific hours, there's a higher chance that it actually is going to fail. That magical time is actually what the content creators are always trying to identify. So the same logic actually applies to the podcast. You can put so much effort to record and edit your podcast episode with the highest quality possible. But that's not going to be enough because you actually need to know when is going to be the best time for you to release that podcast episode so it gets the maximum amount of attention which it actually deserves. Although that best time is going to be different from show to show, in this video we are going to be sharing with you guys some tips and tricks that you can actually start using to figure out that perfect timing for you to release your podcast show. So without wasting more time, let's jump straight to these tips. Make it the first thing in the morning. So if you are an early bird, you are going to be loving this one. Many podcasters have actually announced that whenever they have released a podcast episode early in the morning around 5 a.m., it has positively impacted the number of listeners that the episode has reached. There are actually several reasons to back this up. First of all, whenever you post early in the morning, there is a higher chance that your podcast will appear on the top of your listeners' feed. So there is a higher chance that they will actually see and tap on it. Also, posting early in the morning ensures that there is a less lag between the time that you actually publish and release your podcast and the time that it appears on your listeners' feed. And at the end of the day, early morning actually works well for different time zones. The next tip is going to be attentive to the important event. Understanding the best time that your audience is actually willing to listen to your podcast is going to be challenging sometimes. So whenever it's possible, try to link it with the event that is actually happening in your industry. Let's say your podcast is about the Olympic Games. For your case, the best time is going to be release your podcast episode right after the game is finished. So your audience is still emotional about the topic and is eager to hear more about the analysis. The final tip for you is going to be choosing the day wisely. Although everyone is going to have their own life routine, the general flow is usually the same. For example, in the beginning of the week, we are usually more motivated to organize everything thoroughly and make sure everything is planned properly. This means Mondays are best for the motivational and uplifting podcast. In the middle of the week, we start to get tired and we look for stuff to kind of escape from the work-related stuff. So this could be the perfect time for the fiction podcast, the comedy podcast, and in general, the entertaining podcast. Finally, Friday is Friday. No matter what plans we have for the next 2 days, we are going to have that feeling of freedom. So if you are going to be making your audience to skip the night out and listen to your podcast, it's better to be worth it. Weekends are also better to be avoided. Why? Because we prefer to spend our time with friends and family, right? Alright guys, these were our 3 tips for you to help you find the best time for releasing your podcast show. Actually, let me know below in the comments what time works best for your podcast show. And if this was your first time watching our videos, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell notification, give it a thumbs up, and until the next video, please take care.